Caitlin Clark just landed a speaking deal that makes Aja Wilson's entire salary look like pocket change, and the WNBA is absolutely losing its mind. What was once a league united under the banner of empowerment and progress has now turned into a battlefield of jealousy, panic, and power plays. The supposed MVP, Aja Wilson, might be dominating on the court, but off the court, Caitlin Clark has taken the game to a level the league never saw coming. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about power, influence, and the future of women's sports, and Clark just flipped the entire hierarchy on its head with a single signature. The numbers are jaw-dropping. Clark is now commanding $100,000 per speaking appearance, and that's just her starting rate. In less than 2 hours, she earns what many WNBA players make in an entire season. To put it simply, Caitlin Clark has transcended the WNBA. She's no longer just a player. She's a brand, a movement, a phenomenon. And the best part? She's doing it entirely on her own terms. But as Clark's success rockets into the stratosphere, the cracks in the WNBA's foundation are beginning to show. When the Long Island Association, one of the most prestigious business organizations on the East Coast, announced Clark as the headliner for their 2025 spring conference, jaws dropped across the sports world. This isn't your average gig. It's a gathering where CEOs of Fortune 500 companies shake hands, strike billion-dollar deals, and make decisions that shape the economy. Out of every athlete they could have called, they didn't call Aja Wilson. They didn't call Breanna Stewart. They called Caitlin Clark, the same rookie who just finished her first full season in the league. The same woman the establishment said needed to prove herself. The irony is staggering. Behind the scenes, the story gets even more brutal. Sources close to the event revealed that Aja Wilson's team had actually reached out to the same conference weeks earlier. They pitched her aggressively, offered to match Clark's rate, and when that failed, even undercut it by 20%. The organizers' response was devastatingly blunt. "We're looking for someone with broader appeal." In other words, they didn't want a league MVP. They wanted a superstar who could fill seats and sell headlines. The rejection couldn't have come at a worse time for Wilson. She's just wrapped another MVP season that barely made a blip in mainstream media. Her numbers might be elite, but her marketability simply can't compete. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is building a global brand, one keynote at a time. And while Wilson stewed in silence, Clark announced her second speaking engagement, this time at a Silicon Valley tech summit for a whopping $150,000 fee. In less than a month, her rate had jumped 50%. While Clark was being welcomed into rooms full of innovators and billionaires, Wilson was posting cryptic social media messages about knowing your worth and real ones recognizing real. The subtext wasn't subtle. One tweet read, "Some people need to earn their stripes before cashing checks." Fans knew exactly who she was talking about. But Clark's response? Nothing, no tweets, no shade, no drama, just business. Her silence was louder than any clapback could ever be. While others threw tantrums, she was stacking wins. The WNBA front office, meanwhile, is in full-blown crisis mode. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert reportedly called an emergency meeting on brand management, though insiders say it was really a panic session over how to handle the Caitlin Clark problem. Because let's be honest, when your biggest star makes more money talking about basketball than playing it, your league has a serious identity crisis. The truth is, Clark doesn't need the WNBA anymore, and that terrifies them. What's making executives sweat even more is that Clark's deals include zero WNBA branding requirements. She doesn't have to wear league merch, shout out sponsors, or even mention the WNBA's name. She owns her story completely. That's power, real unfiltered power. Every appearance she books, every speech she gives, every handshake she makes is done outside of the league's control. And with each one, she widens the gap between her and everyone else in the sport. It's no mystery why corporate America is lining up at her door. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player, she's a cultural icon. Her college career at Iowa alone generated over $1 billion in media value. One player, one program, $1 billion. Now imagine what that influence looks like on the global stage. She's the face of the future, authentic, confident, articulate, and above all, marketable. The WNBA, for all its efforts to create stars, never built anything like this. Caitlin Clark built herself. Meanwhile, Aja Wilson's reaction has only made things worse. In an attempt to keep up, she suddenly announced she too was charging $100,000 for speaking gigs. The only problem? Nobody's booking her. Companies aren't interested in forced parody. They're interested in star power. Wilson's move came off as reactive and desperate, a clear sign she's chasing Clark's shadow instead of setting her own path. The jealousy isn't just coming from Wilson either. Kelsey Plum posted about media darlings getting handouts. Chelsea Gray made a snide remark about substance over hype. Even Brianna Stewart chimed in, saying respect should be earned through championships, not followers. But the truth is brutally simple. Clark moves markets. She sells tickets. She trends globally. These other players might dominate box scores, but Clark dominates the conversation. The contrast between her and her peers couldn't be clearer. While the Players Association continues its fight for higher league salaries, Clark has already shown she doesn't need to wait for the WNBA to value her. She's showing every young athlete that in this new era, you don't need permission to build wealth. You just need vision. Create your own brand. Own your value. Let the market decide. That's the Caitlin Clark model. And it's working. Insiders say her next steps will only widen the gap further. Rumors are swirling about a 7-figure book deal, a production company partnership, and equity stakes in emerging tech ventures. She's not thinking about the next game, she's thinking about the next decade. Every move she makes reinforces a painful truth for the WNBA. They don't own her, and they never will. Wilson's camp has tried everything to catch up. They even hired one of Clark's former marketing consultants, hoping to replicate her strategy. But it's not about having the right agent or team, it's about timing, charisma, and authenticity. You can't fake cultural relevance. You can't buy organic influence. Wilson's trying to purchase what Clark naturally commands, and it's showing. The league's response, predictably, is to copy Clark under the guise of innovation. They've started promoting player empowerment initiatives, including a new speakers bureau for WNBA athletes. Sounds progressive, right? Until you learn the league takes a 30% cut of every deal they facilitate. Clark, of course, operates independently and keeps every dollar. Once again, she's miles ahead while everyone else is just trying to catch up. The wildest part? Industry insiders say Clark's current rate of $100,000 is actually low. Her true market value is closer to $250,000 per event, and she could charge it easily. But she's playing the long game, keeping her fees accessible to strengthen relationships and build influence. It's the kind of calculated brilliance that separates icons from athletes. Meanwhile, Wilson's attempts to stay relevant have bordered on embarrassing. She recently posted a photo of herself at a small corporate function, trying to pass it off as a major speaking engagement. Within hours, fans exposed that it was actually a free charity event. The optics were brutal. The harder she tries to compete with Clark, the more obvious it becomes that she can't. But here's the beautiful irony. Every time Wilson or any other player tries to take a shot at Clark, it only makes her bigger. Every jealous post, every bitter comment, every desperate imitation fuels her legend. Caitlin Clark doesn't have to fight back. The world does it for her. She's the sun in the WNBA solar system, and everyone else is just orbiting around her light. The 2025 season hasn't even started yet, but Caitlin Clark has already won the offseason. She's building an empire while her rivals build excuses. She's making history while others make noise. And the scary part? She's just getting started.